Okay, we're missing some people. We have some people in jail from New Year's. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Balancing emotions can't get too high, can't get too low once
Yep.
the season play starts. Is that something you actually talk about with these guys, have a conversation about, and how difficult is that once it actually begins?
Well, so I mean, we're going to have all the emotions. Like, we're going to feel like the greatest team ever, and we're going to feel like the worst team ever. It's just the nature of the deal. The last couple of mornings on the Peloton, that's what old people do for our exercise. I've been watching this unbelievable documentary on the Celtics-Lakers rivalry, and you have the greatest players of all time, and they're having these incredible swings of winning a game by 20 and then losing a game by 20, and the greatest players in the world making mistakes at the end of games. And so, those guys are not immune from the huge emotional swings of this game. The trick is we have those emotional swings. It's like, how fast can we get back to constructive? How fast can we get back to constructive? Can we purge them? It happens in the game. Like, our guys are really good at it in the game. Like, we have all the emotions in the game, and our guys are pretty good about taking frustration and turning a fight and spitting it out. And so that's the challenge. It's going to be the challenge for every team in this league. And there'll be big, huge swings in this conference season this year. And so that's something that we've talked about from day one. And it'll be something that we get to experience more and more as we go through this league.
Obviously, winning is the main goal, but what are some other takeaways you're looking for this first SEC?
Well, we're going to continue to try and learn about ourselves. This is the great thing. Our job is to win and win every game, and so that's clearly the number one priority. And in the process, it's just how fast can we learn and grow? How much better can we get? And so it's just being able to get ourselves fresh. Whether it's after a win or a loss, get ourselves fresh when we roll in here every day and be focused on getting better. That is the DNA of a team that has a chance to be great when it matters most. And so both those things are happening simultaneously all the time if you're functioning at a high level.
Mark, what do you remember about the SEC from your playing days?
Yeah, it's a great league. It was a fun league when I was here. It wasn't quite this dominant, but I think most of the season we had 5 or 6 or 7 teams in the top 25, and it's just it's unbelievable venues. It's incredible fan bases. It gets super salty, and it's just everything you want. And right now this league is incredibly special, and it's where you want to be. I've said this before, but if you don't get to play in the SEC this year, I feel sad for you, because this is where you want to be. It's where the best teams are and the best players are, and let's go.
What jumps out at you when you see
SEC, the fact you guys have met with the top 10 teams, still undefeated, looks like it's another professional team on the offensive
Yeah.
side as well. Just what have you seen from them on the usual film study, and what do you expect the biggest keys to Saturday's game?
Yeah, in the half-court defense, they're in the top 1 percentile. They're one of the top teams defensively in the half-court in the country. They're the number 2 ranked team on the glass in the country. They got 3 veteran guards that just score in bunches, and a phenomenal talent coming off the bench that can really hurt you there. And their bigs are just voracious. They're relentless and physical and skilled and can shoot it. And listen, it's another top 10 battle, and you would get super excited about that, but then the next game is a top 10 battle, and the next game after that, and the next game after that. It's just this league, and so it's going to be a great test for us, and to see where we are right now and the lessons we've learned and how we implement them.
How much does it help knowing that the team is already being going into it confidence-wise?
I think our guys believe that we can grow into a great team, and I think they have some. It's not just a kind of whimsical belief. I think the nice thing is there's a little bit of teeth to it, and we also know it's hard. We know how demanding this game is, and so I think our guys are. I don't think we spend a lot of time worrying about outcomes. We're trying to get better, right? I think we're so hungry to get better, so I think that's really where our focus is.
Mark, it seems like common sense to be able to practice in a facility in which you play your games. How difficult has it been to practice in rough? And did you all have a lot of practice time during your days?
Man, we had a lot of practice time. Woo! I'm not sure where Miss Sandy Bell was on the 20-hour rule back in the day. She was actually perfect. We monitored every minute of it, but she's the best there's ever been. But it's, yeah, I mean, you know, I'll tell you what's great is you can't walk in this building and not feel something. And it's unbelievable. You know, you get in the grind of the season and you still walk in here and you're like, wow. Like, we get to be in Rupp today. I mean, come on, it's incredible. So this building is an extraordinary place, and you can't walk into this place without feeling the history and the tradition and the responsibility. And now our guys walk in here, and every time they walk into this gym, they see for practice, they see that it's empty in the stands, but they can hear it and feel it. And it was just 48 hours ago where this place was rocking, and when you walk in empty, you feel that, and it's pretty cool. It's actually awesome.
I know it's your first year back in the league, but that's how I'm looking at it. What do you think has led to this? What lies that led to the SEC being so strong this year?
I think every player and every coach wants to be in the SEC. So I think it's just, I just think it's the pinnacle of it. It's what our conference leadership has done, and I just think it's, in a time where there's so much instability in college basketball and college athletics in general, you want to go to the place where is actually going to be the most stable, and I think that's here.
I know you said Kurt had started the rehab process. You talked a little bit about earlier this week. Just where is he right now, and do you have any sense of when he might be able to get back to competitiveness?
In my mind, he's a game time decision for Saturday. But sometimes I live in a little bit of a fantasy land. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But he's still got. I mean, this is a major deal, and so it'll take some time.
What have his emotions? I guess what have his spirits been like these past few weeks?
He's been great. I mean, it was devastating for him, for sure. It was like devastating. And he loves competing so much, and I don't think his life quite feels right now without being able to compete. I mean, his life just doesn't feel right, and so he's trying to find a way to lose himself in this team in other ways, and it's going to be an incredible growing experience for him, and that's what we have to make it, is an opportunity for him to really grow and learn new ways to do things, and he's around good people, and he'll do it.
After not playing for 9 or 10 days, how nice was it to kind of empty the roster, the whole bench got to play, and they got some good minutes in that game?
Yeah, I was really pleased with our guys. I was really pleased with our young guys. I thought that it was one of as a group, it was probably their best performance so far, which is what we expect. They're going to keep getting better and better and better. Those guys are working so hard, and they're paying so much attention, and there were so many good things. This Colin Chandler led us in downhill 2 feet plays in limited minutes. He had the most on the whole team, and was an unbelievable decision maker, and TP looked the most comfortable he's looked out there against real pressure. I mean, full court press every single possession, and he looked really comfortable and he just looked like he felt it. And I was really pleased with, sometimes he broke the pressure and stayed on attack. Kept it a nugget game, and so you could tell he's feeling more and more comfortable. And Trent just seems impervious to anything. He just rolls on the floor and just makes shots just immediately. So I was really pleased with those guys.
13 games into the season, it's gone by quick. The season's over.
Yeah.
What's still keeping you awake at night?
It's just this pursuit. I wish I had a better answer for you, but it's just like it's this insane, just desire, just this, not insane, but this, just a voracious desire to get better. Like we just don't have enough time. This group is so fun. This group is such great young men. Like our ceiling is so high, and so you just feel this pressure every minute to like, how are we gonna, we just don't have that much time to become what we can become. And so I think that's the thing that we're feeling all the time, is just, how can we be as efficient as we can be, and how can we grow as fast as we can, and how can we know each other as fast as we can, and so trying to magnify the effect of the lessons that we learn almost every minute of the day is probably the thing that is consuming us. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's fun to talk about how our guys are growing. So BG, still is a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio guy with huge demands on him. I think he's made unbelievable growth in his decision-making in the post, not just on the attack, about kind of feeling the way we want to attack with him on, but also his patience and his vision and his timing actually has been so good. Defensively, he's understanding the concepts more and more and more, and he's having more and more of an impact. Kind of flying around where he's not just kind of locked into one assignment, but he's actually a cover guy where he's anticipating what could be the next issue. I think he's grown incredibly there. He would tell you that he's now a knockdown three-point shooter, which he's going to become a great shooter. I'm telling you, this kid, he's got the DNA and the makeup, the things that you look for in a guy that's can become an absolute terrific shooter. He's got them. And so it's just a matter of time and reps and in-game reps and practice reps, but he's making progress there. I think he's obviously also grown up as a young man. He's carrying big responsibilities and he's growing into them. And it's been really fun to watch that process also. He's got so much more growth ahead of him, but that's probably the most rewarding part. At some point, this game is going to stop. Hopefully for him, it's not for another 20 years, but when it does, you're kind of left with what kind of man have you grown into, and he's trying to make big strides that way too. So we're seeing so much growth out of him. It's awesome.
I know offensive rebounding has been a key point of emphasis. How would you assess that so far going into?
Yeah, it's a place where we have so much more room to grow. Oh, way to go right to this sore spot for me. But we'd like to continue getting better for sure.
With Travis, I know it's a difficult situation for a freshman to jump into, especially in this SEC, but where specifically can he improve immediately? Where do you need him to be better over these next 2 weeks?
Well, he's making great strides. So it's just everywhere, right? It's just growing into the game. It's just and it's not actually growing into it because he's fully capable. It's just getting comfortable. It's just that comfort level. And so being assignment sound. Both my rookies. I checked both Colin and TP and it happened to be underneath out of bounds both times. They both got cooked immediately when they went into the game, and so it's just getting used to the cadence of the game and kind of understanding, at this level what you need to be super aware of and what you can kind of let go, what you don't need to be distracted by, and that's just a learning process. The great thing about TP is he's pretty unflappable. He just is he's like, yep. I mean, he's very even-keeled, and he's incredibly talented, and he picks up information so fast. And so mostly it's just more minutes on the floor where he can kind of show what he already is bringing to the table, because he's already bringing so much to the table. He's already like a guy, go pressure him. He's gonna handle the pressure fine. Try and trick up the way you're guarding. He's gonna read it really, really well in the half court. Try and take advantage of him defensively. You're gonna be like, oh man, this guy's way better than I think he is. And so, he's already got those tools, and it's just a matter of him becoming more comfortable.
Mark, I hope you can explain this to me. I never coached or played the game, so you could dumb it down. That'd be great. But it seems like when the ball goes inside,
I'm pretty I don't really get anywhere other than dumbed down. So you should feel comfortable with that.
I just noticed when the ball goes inside to the bigs, it
Yep.
seems like it sticks sometimes and take a little time to make the moves.
Yeah.
Why not more of an emphasis on running back out quickly
Yep.
and maybe off three-pointers, guys up around the arc?
Yeah, when we're functioning well, we're running a ton of actions. So we throw it in the post actually to run actions. We throw the ball in the post for our guards to score. And so a lot of that is an issue that we're having right now, where we're not getting into our split action immediately, or we're not getting kind of our weak side action immediately, or we're never actually committing to it. But our bigs, when they get catches off the lane, they're playmakers first. And that's a space where we feel like, man, we're just not quite caught up to speed. We'll get there. But our guys are actually functioning with their patience really, really well on post catches. We also, a lot of times teams are letting them feel one-on-one in there. And so as you catch in the post, you kind of want to work with a clear side. So as your vision goes blind to the corner, you need time to make sure that your blind vision is going to be honored, that there's actually not bodies there. And so as you're going through cutting actions, you're feeling all that as you give yourself permission to turn away and now start to go to work in the middle. You're also kind of reading ducks and not ducks. You're reading digs, and you're kind of getting a sense of where players are and how they're functioning. Sometimes we're going through 2 rotations of cuts before he can go to work. So we throw it in the post. If you get a catch 2 feet outside the line, you're a playmaker first, and I'm actually really proud of our bigs about how they're acting. On the perimeter, we actually need to get better. We need to get better, quicker at making our reads and quicker at making our cuts. But that's the part of the game we're really excited about exploring more. I think we have something really good going there. We're actually getting some good action when we throw it on the post. I think we need to get there more.
I know you played in the league and now you're going to be coaching.
Yeah.
How much different is the league compared to when you played it to now?
I think it's inconceivably it's better, because it was great when I was playing here. I mean, Arkansas won the national championship. Then they went back to the national championship game. Then we won the national championship. When we were in the national championship game, Mississippi State was also in the Final Four. I think we had 4 or 5 teams in the Sweet 16 that year. So it's in that sense, it's a little deja vu, right? It's awesome. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Mark, what do you have to do in the second half of the season to really make other teams, SEC, in the future, fear you, not just fear you, but like really wet their pants about playing Kentucky?
Well, it would help if we won all of our games by a lot of points. But, for us, just growing into the identity that we're aspiring to be, right? We're aspiring to be a team that's built a certain way and to execute on that. And the more, the more we get to that level and that specific style of play, the more teams will be shaking their heads being like, we don't know exactly what to do with him. So a lot of it is just our growth.
Mark, 11 a.m. start time, we see 10 p.m.
Yep.
How important is it to kind of adjust the practice schedule to
Yeah.
get them mentally prepared for the different start times?
Yeah, it's super important for us. We've pushed all of our stuff early, so we're kind of simulating a little bit of game day vibe time-wise. We pushed it early Monday because we had a 2:00 start, which is early for us, and then today and tomorrow we're pushing it early also. So the guys should be pretty used to it. Hopefully, by starting early enough this morning, the guys will get to bed